Welcome back to another episode of Everyday Nuggets. Cigars are more than just tobacco products. They represent craftsmanship, tradition, and a rich cultural history that spans centuries. The journey from tobacco seed to the finished cigar in your hand is a fascinating process that combines agricultural expertise, patient curing, and skilled hand-rolling techniques passed down through generations. Today, we'll explore how these premium tobacco products come to life. The foundation of every great cigar begins with the tobacco plant itself, specifically Nicotiana tabacum. This remarkable plant is cultivated in several regions around the world, with the most renowned being Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, and Honduras. The quality of the soil plays a crucial role in determining the flavor profile of the tobacco leaves. Tobacco plants are incredibly demanding crops, requiring specific growing conditions to thrive. Farmers carefully monitor soil pH, temperature, humidity, and rainfall to ensure optimal growth. The plants themselves can grow quite tall, ranging from 4 to 10 feet in height, depending on the variety, with broad, lush green leaves that will eventually be harvested for cigar production. What makes cigar tobacco unique is the attention to detail during cultivation. Unlike cigarette tobacco, cigar tobacco varieties are selected for their distinctive flavor characteristics. Some premium wrapper tobacco is shade-grown to produce thin, elastic leaves. In contrast, filler tobacco and many wrappers are sun-grown. Have you ever wondered how tobacco farmers ensure consistency in their crops? The process begins with meticulous seed selection. Master growers select seeds from plants that have demonstrated superior qualities in previous harvests, looking for disease resistance, leaf size, shape, and flavor potential. Seeds are first planted in specially prepared seed beds, where they grow for about 40 days before being transplanted to the main fields. This controlled environment helps protect the delicate seedlings during their most vulnerable stage. Once strong enough, they're moved to larger fields where they'll mature over the next 50 to 60 days after transplanting. During this growth period, farmers engage in a practice called topping, the removal of the flower bud at the top of the plant to direct the plant's energy toward developing premium leaves rather than seed production. This careful management produces tobacco leaves with specific characteristics suitable for different parts of the cigar. When the tobacco leaves reach maturity, the harvesting process begins, and it's far more complex than simply cutting down the entire plant. Cigar tobacco is typically harvested using one of two methods: priming method. In this painstaking approach, workers harvest the leaves individually, starting from the bottom of the plant and working their way up over several weeks. This selective harvesting ensures each leaf is picked at its optimal ripeness, with lower leaves harvested first as they mature earlier than upper leaves. Stalk cutting. Some varieties are harvested by cutting the entire stalk at once. The whole plant is then hung to cure with all leaves attached. This method is less common for premium cigars, but is used for certain tobacco varieties. The timing of harvest is critical. Skilled farmers can determine the perfect moment by examining leaf color, texture, and aroma. Harvest too early, and the leaves won't have developed their full flavor potential. Too late, and they may become brittle and unsuitable for cigar production. Once harvested, tobacco leaves begin their transformation through a process called curing. The freshly picked green leaves are transported to special barns designed for the curing process. These structures have controllable ventilation to manage airflow, humidity, and temperature, crucial factors that influence how the leaves cure. During curing, the leaves undergo a gradual color change from green to yellow to brown as chlorophyll breaks down and new compounds form. This process can take 45 to 60 days, depending on the tobacco variety and desired characteristics. The leaves slowly dry, losing about 85% of their moisture content while developing the distinctive flavors and aromas that will define the final cigar. Now that the tobacco has been prepared, we're ready to witness one of the most fascinating steps in cigar making: rolling. This is where skilled artisans transform those carefully selected leaves into the cylindrical masterpieces we recognize as cigars. Rolling begins with the buncher, who assembles the filler leaves. Each leaf is carefully positioned to ensure proper airflow through the finished cigar. The buncher takes the different types of leaves, volado, seco, and ligero, and arranges them precisely. The lighter volado leaves are positioned toward the outside to facilitate burning. In comparison, the stronger ligero leaves are placed in the center to create a consistent flavor release. The buncher then places these arranged filler leaves on top of a binder leaf and rolls them together to form what's called the bunch. This bunch must be uniform in density, as any inconsistencies would lead to uneven burning. At this stage, the cigar is placed in a wooden mold to help it take its cylindrical shape and compress it to the proper diameter. Once the bunch has set in the mold, it is then moved to the hands of a roller. The roller selects a wrapper leaf, the most visually perfect leaf of the entire operation. This outer leaf must be flawless, with uniform color and no visible veins or blemishes. The roller, a true artisan, stretches this delicate leaf on their rolling table. With a curved knife called a chaveta, they cut it into the perfect shape. With incredible precision, they wrap this leaf around the bunch in a spiral pattern. A small amount of vegetable-based adhesive is applied to the end of the wrapper to secure it. The roller then cuts the cigar to its precise length and finishes the head of the cigar with a small piece of wrapper leaf called the cap. This cap is essential. It holds the wrapper together and provides the surface that will be cut before smoking. After rolling, each cigar undergoes a rigorous quality control process. Expert inspectors examine every cigar for imperfections in construction, appearance, and weight. They look for consistent color, smooth wrapper, and proper firmness throughout the cigar's length. Any cigar that doesn't meet the standards is rejected. The approved cigars then move to the aging room, a climate-controlled environment that maintains specific temperature and humidity levels. Here, the cigars rest in cedar cabinets called escaparaches for several weeks to several months, with premium cigars often aging for a year or more. During this aging process, the moisture content of the tobacco evens out. The flavors of the different tobacco leaves marry together, creating a harmonious smoking experience. This is also when ammonia and other unwanted compounds dissipate from the tobacco, resulting in a smoother smoke. Once the cigars have properly aged, they undergo a final sorting process. Cigars are grouped by color to ensure visual consistency in each box. This meticulous process, known as color sorting, requires a trained eye to distinguish between the subtle shades of brown. Professional factories sort cigars by up to 64 to 65 different shades. After sorting, the cigars receive their bands, those ornate paper rings that bear the brand's logo and information. The banding process was traditionally done manually, though many factories now use machines to increase efficiency without sacrificing quality. The finished cigars are then packaged in boxes, typically made of Spanish cedar. This wood not only looks beautiful, but also contributes to the aging process and helps maintain proper humidity. The cigars are arranged in the box according to specific patterns, depending on the manufacturer's tradition. Before sealing, quality inspectors give one final check to ensure everything meets the brand standards. Thank you for watching another episode of Everyday Nuggets. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe for more videos. If you have suggestions for other everyday objects you'd like to learn about, please leave them in the comments below. Stay curious.